Okay, hey guys, what's going on? This is Liam, and in this video I'm going to show you a testimonial of somebody who gave me their permission to show it, as long as I wouldn't reveal their identity. And that is quite common. A lot of the times people, aren't that comfortable doing videos, but they're happy to do conversations. So you get the whole point, the internet, how it is today. So I feel like this is especially important to talk about now because I'm getting a lot of questions from people saying, hey Liam, seeing your advice online, seeing that it works. By the way, if you were just finding my YouTube channel now, I've got the most testimonials, the most successes out of anyone on the planet that I've found so far. Yes, I only speak English, so I wouldn't know how to search there, but I have clients all over the world who tell me this is the best. It is the most testimonials I've ever found, and it just works. And so people ask me, well, this whole, the current virus that's going around is new, I guess one could say. At least it's new on the news, right? And lots of people are coming down with tinnitus after contracting the virus. And of course, there was the case of the Texas restaurant tycoon who unfortunately took his own life after the severity of his symptoms. He had multiple different symptoms, but apparently, reportedly, in a couple of articles I read, his tinnitus was so bad following contracting the virus, he actually took his own life, unfortunately. Now, I know that's scary to hear, I know it freaks people out, but so much of what you hear and see online about tinnitus being for life and habituation is the only option, it's all wrong. It's all completely wrong. Now, all you have to do is look at my Instagram and look at my YouTube channel and just try the advice out for yourself safely, and you'll see for yourself, holy crap, my tinnitus is getting better, my hyperacusis is gone, my pulsatile tinnitus is completely gone, my vertigo is gone. Even I've had people recently, they're like, Liam, I followed your advice and my hearing loss has completely been reversed. Even if you got it from noise trauma, a virus, an ear infection, stress, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. So tinnitus is not for life, and let's go over one of the most recent testimonials of the virus that people want to know about. Okay, so I'll just read it out for you. In all seriousness though, this is them talking. I think a lot of people are coming around to your ideas, and they are, thankfully. I had an ENT, which is an otolaryngologist, so you would know what an ENT is for sure if you're watching this, check up recently, and I told them what I'd done for my tinnitus. They were genuinely interested, and she even said that she would reconsider how to advise people. This is great because usually ENTs, and when I say usually, I mean about 99.99% of the time, ENTs, as soon as someone tells them they have tinnitus, like, oh, it's for life, you can't do anything about it. And unfortunately, the second thing that happens, and this is almost every single time, which is why this conversation is so amazing and exceptional, it gives me hope, that ENTs will one day realize what they were taught is completely fucking ridiculous, is that whenever someone goes and sees an ENT and they say, oh, there's nothing you can do, you've got tinnitus, you can't do anything about it, come back in a month for an audiogram, a hearing test, and otoacoustic emissions test, a pressure test, all that sort of stuff, which they commonly do, which usually means nothing, it's meaningless. I mean, how are you supposed to determine hearing loss when you have the interference of tinnitus? Give me a break. So they come back in 2 months' time or a month's time and they say, you know what, since our last appointment, I went online, I found Liam, and I applied his advice, and my tinnitus is already 50% gone. Oh no, that's not right. No, that's just a coincidence. And it's like, well, doctor, you told me there's nothing I could do and there's no hope, and now it's gone down. Oh, well, I guess I was, and they don't want to say I was wrong. And whether it's their ego or their belief system, they're having problems being challenged by someone who's not a doctor, which I'm not medically trained, not a doctor. I'm not even a naturopath. Not that that's naturopath. I'd rather go to a naturopath than a doctor, to be honest. Anyway, my point is, it seems like some are coming around, and especially the female ENTs seem to be more open. I guess that's why women are more in touch with their feelings. Maybe that's a good thing for everyone. Okay, so continuing on. I went from hospitalization and having to move back in with my parents, mother putting me in the bath, he was suicidal, tons of mental health drugs, and then, sorry, I completely lost where I was. So basically he was on heaps of drugs and he was stuck at home with his mum, and this is an older gentleman, and now he's back home and he's active again in under a year. And his tinnitus was from the virus, and it was an 11 out of 10 down to a 1 in a year. But also listen to this. He said, I didn't do everything perfectly, but I ate a shit ton of meat, sun, went to bed at 9 most nights, and walked around without their shoes in the sun. So here's the cool thing. Yes, it took a year. That can happen depending on what your lifestyle is before and depending on how much you implement. Most people who follow me, they say, oh, Liam, that's Liam. That's a tinnitus guy who uses diet to silence tinnitus. Diet is such a small part of it, but yet I talk about it so much because food takes up such a big part of our lives. If you look at what beating tinnitus is as, like, say, a pie chart, and I've got these charts on my Instagram page, Liam_stops_tinnitus. Go and have a look. And food is such a small part. You have things like light, sleep, stress, muscle release, meditation, mold, parasites, posture, and the list goes on. So food is such a small part. But it still is important to do, because if you're eating a diet high in salicylate, which is literally used, it's a plant defense mechanism. It's a poison plants basically inject into you when you eat them as a sort of like, if I'm going down, you're coming with me sort of thing. It inhibits your ability to absorb radiation from the sun, which you need, and it also, I believe it also inhibits your capacity to absorb protein, amino acids, which is very bad for you. And it also is used in clinical trials to literally cause tinnitus. And yet doctors and ENTs are telling their patients, eat more leafy greens, have that kale smoothie, have some nuts, have some seeds, which are packed with mold, and they literally are proven to cause tinnitus. I mean, where do these guys learn this shit? Anyway, let's keep going. So that this person goes on to say, it is a man, if I didn't mention that. I'm thinking about making a film or some sort of photographic project about tinnitus. Have spoken to the British Tinnitus Association. They were interested in what I did. People are learning. The same British Tinnitus Association which deletes my comments when I say tinnitus is not for life and you can fix, and especially when they say there is no evidence whatsoever that diet has an impact on tinnitus. Well, there's been no proper long-term statistically significant placebo-based tests, randomized control trials, yes, for sure. But there's a difference between academia and common fucking sense science. Alan Savory has a really, really good talk on this. He works with agriculture and farming, I believe, and geology, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, sorry. And he says all these people who come, and this is so typical of ENTs, and I've seen videos like this when they say, should you change your diet? No, there's no scientific basis for it, so don't do it. Who fucking cares? Use your brain. Should you be eating McDonald's? So if there's no difference whatsoever, then it's okay for a person to eat McDonald's all day instead of even an omnivorous, healthy-based diet. Oh no, well, they shouldn't do that. Okay, so there is a difference then. Why wait 10 years for a scientific study which will never be done? Who the fuck is, excuse the French, is going to fund 100% food-based interventional, experimental, long-term, lock-in ward study on food for tinnitus patients? Even if they prove that food helps with tinnitus, what are you going to do then? You can't sell anything from that. You can't sell anything. It would have to be a pharmaceutical drug, there will never be. I bet my left testicle on it, there's never going to be a drug that will fix tinnitus because there's too many causes. How is a drug supposed to reduce anxiety, give you sunlight, change your diet, fix your posture, get rid of mold, kill parasites? It's never going to happen, ever. We got to use this more. In order to get rid of tinnitus, we've got to fix this by using this. The brain is what I'm trying to say. In between, where the problem is, in between your ears, you've got to use this. Stop listening to people who think they know everything because they've got a piece of paper on them behind a wall. Okay? This plastic bag is worth as much as a fucking otolaryngologist degree when it comes to tinnitus. I'm not joking. Okay. This person is now... Okay, it's all thanks to you. It saved my life. I was a goner. PTSD, hearing voices, so I guess schizophrenia, twitching, totally mad shit, and it's all gone. Great. All offer their benzodiazepines, which is, I'm not sure specifically which drug that was. Benzodiazepines are a class of drug. Off their benzos and sleeping pills and pretty much all the supplements. Let's see. I think C-19, I don't want to say the virus out loud because I don't want to get this video flagged, has been a real eye-opener to people that thought doctors could fix everything. No way. The virus triggered his tinnitus, so that's what caused it. People who were given palliative care, who were sick as hell, had to think outside the box regards to recovery. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. People say, oh, Liam's a guy that hates doctors. No, I hate the methodology behind what doctors are taught in order to help fix chronic illness. When I was sick, doctors saved my life. When someone gets in a car accident, you're going to need a doctor. Chronic, acute is immediate need, heart attack, stroke, that sort of thing, a serious epileptic fit, acute, right? I guess it's epilepsy chronic, but you get my point here. Tinnitus is a chronic problem. It's long term. 99.99% of the time, it ain't going away if you just leave it, because there's something in your life that's exacerbating it, preventing it from going away, making sure it stays there. Whether it's your lifestyle choices, new Wi-Fi, the phone you keep putting to your ear, stressful people, poor dietary choices, whatever it is, it could be anything. Okay, so doctors are just going to give you benzodiazepines, and yes, that is very common, and it is sick as far as I'm concerned. So if you have gotten tinnitus from the virus, don't worry, it's fixable. There's also certain supplements you can take, but just focus on fixing a lifestyle first. And remember, diet is a very small part of it. Sunlight, grounding, exercise, cutting off stressful people. If people say, I don't know where to start, this video I just explained like everything. Like I really did. Like if you don't know where to start, you're not looking hard enough. Okay, so we'll end it there. Have a lovely day, and if you've got tinnitus, it's completely fixable. All right, bye guys.